Hello everyone, Miss Carrie here from Miss Carrie's Creations. I have a sweet layout for you today using a few Valentine items in my collection. Instead of that typical romantic photo, I've decided to feature the relationship between this girl and her furry friend. I'm going to be using the Noteworthy Limitless kit from Not Just for Boys Kit Club. This is filled with patterns from Doodlebug, Uniquely Creative, 49 in Market, and Simple Stories. The kit also includes the Enjoy Life cardstock cut, some little baubles, ephemera, stencil, and puffy stickers. I'm going to be bringing in a few additions to my page, which include some items from the Noteworthy Essentials kit and the Valentine Essentials kit. Both of these are also from Not Just for Boys Kit Club. I'll also be bringing in a few more items as I create this page, and I'll be sure to add all of those in the supply list that you can find in the description below. I have 3 photos here of my daughter and her best friend. The photos are sized at 2 3/4 inches, which is going to give me some room above and below to bring in some pattern papers. I'm layering a gray wood grain, yellow floral, and I'll be putting a few ephemera pieces from the Essential kit here. Before I adhere these in place, I do want to bring in a softer pink to the background. I don't want to add too much, but I just want a small amount that helps to bring out some of the color in the photos. I'm going to be using some shimmer spray, and I'll just put a fine mist of carnation pink in the center of this mixed media paper, and then I'm going to set this aside to dry. I debated adding that small amount of pink to the page because there really isn't any of that hue in my pattern papers. It's a very subtle color in the background, but I do like how it turned out. Along with the 2 pattern paper pieces, I added some printed pieces of ephemera from that 49 in Market collection. I chose some that were a simple gray and white print, a few that were a craft color print, and a sage colored ticket. The grays go well with the fencing in the photos, and the sage is a nice companion color to the yellow. For my story, I cut out a journaling card from the back of that wood grain pattern. This is helping to form a nice grid design and frames the photos. The next part of the process, I either forgot to record or lost the footage. I did add some bits of torn ephemera to the edges, and then I added stitching all the way around to frame this page. This brought in some more of the sage color I'm going to use and add some texture to the layout. Now I'm going to start adhering all the pieces in place. While I do this, I'm going to tell you the story about this little dog that my daughter just loves. Now, we live in a rural community, and unfortunately, dogs are dropped off alongside the road all the time. One of our teacher friends had posted that she found a dog alongside the road and was looking for the owner, but after a few days, she realized that there was no owner in sight and she could not keep the dog. Our daughter fell in love with that dog, but there were some issues right away. The person who found her said that she appeared to be abused, was malnourished, and a gamut of other things. After a month of caring for her, we were excited to see that she was gaining weight, she was becoming healthy, and then we discovered that she was going to have a litter of puppies within the next couple weeks. So, long story short, that is how we ended up with our little dog that you often see in some of my photos. Now, I have gone ahead and added some floral pieces to this page. I wanted to be able to tie them all together, so I added some darker green leaves behind each one of them. Near that top photo, I added another green element that says Kiss Hug. Behind that, I'm going to tuck a little tab, and I'll be adding a date to that later on. At this point, the journal card is not tacked down. I plan to run it through my printer, so I'm not going to adhere anything in place yet. I do need another blue-green element, so I'm going to bring in this title from the Valentine foam sticker sheet. Now I'm going to have a nice visual triangle of that blue-green sagey color on the page. Some of the elements that are on here were intended for Valentine pages, but as I said earlier, this was more of a non-traditional Valentine page, which I think a lot of you are going to enjoy making. I am going to add a few more elements to finish this page. I'm placing some tan stickers, a few gray and blue stickers, and a yellow phrase on here just to help form some more visual triangles. At first, those bright orange dots on the yellow flower didn't bother me, but now I do want them to look more like the other floral pieces. So I'm going to bring in some enamel dots that match the other items. I am going to finish off the page by adhering some of the baubles in place. These are a wood grain and yellow color, and I'm just going to use 3 of them to create a nice diagonal flow on the page. While I add these last few items, I would love it if you tap that subscribe button and let me know in the comments that you're new here so that I can welcome you. If you followed me for a while, let me know that you enjoyed today's project by tapping that thumbs up icon. Off camera, I decided to go with a different color of enamel dot. This darker blue contrasts with the yellow and matches the other blue dots in the florals much better. For that story, I typed my journaling in Canva, then I printed it out onto that cutout and added it to the page. I will have a video tomorrow that explains how to do this, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. This page is not your typical Valentine layout with romantic photos, but it is a fun one to create with your Valentine pieces. Some of you may not have a significant other that you're celebrating with, but you might just have a furry companion that you want to record some memories of, and this is a great way to do that. If you're one who enjoys pinning photos to inspiration boards, I have added still shots of this layout on the Not Just for Boys Kit Club blog and on my website for you to use. If you would like more ideas for using this kit, you can join the Not Just for Boys Kit Club community on Facebook and see even more designs. I want to thank you for joining me today for another scrapbook project. If you have any questions about this scrapbook page or the supplies listed in the description below, feel free to post that in the comments. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.